Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. Sorry we haven't been doing any Scout updates lately, but we have been doing a lot of work. Get down! We're going to show you how we've been doing some training lately and some of the stuff that he's been learning. At his age, we have found he is incredibly smart. He even taught us a new trick yesterday, and we're going to show you guys that one too because it was quite unique. So one of the first things I wanted to show you is how we handle the dog before we take him outside. Because in the past with other dogs, I made the mistake of just going to the door, opening it, letting the dog bolt out in front of me, and then it's a constant struggle throughout the whole process. So with Scout, we had learned a better way to do it, and so we're going to show you that before we go outside and do some more training. So if you're ready, we're going to show you Scout. What we do is before we go outside, I'll tell him, sit. He'll sit, and I'll open the door and I'll expect him to stay. So the door's open, he's staying there, he's not moving. At that point, I will take his leash, his house line off, and I'll attach his outside line. Stay. I don't want him to move until I give him the command. So what we found out is the command is break. And that tells him that whatever he's doing that we ordered him to do, he can stop. He can go and take a break. He can move freely. So with Scout, I expect him to sit until I give him the command, and then he knows it's okay to go out the door. That way he knows I'm still the one in control, and he doesn't barge towards the door every time it opens. Which is a very big deal when you have guests coming over, things like that. You don't want him just charging right out the door. You want him to be calm. So I'll show you how we do the break command. Scout, break. That way he goes out calmly. Now that we got him outside, one of the first things I do is I let him roam around to go use the bathroom, to go pee or whatever. As you can see, he just kind of does what he wants, which is okay. Because I gave him the break command, so I want him to know that he can just be a dog and do what he wants. But when I want to get his attention again, one of the things we're trying to teach him is his name. A lot of people, they'll try to teach their dog its name by repeating it over 150 times. And we found that doesn't really work because he only responds half the time, if that. So with this one, we're trying to train him not just with treats, but with action. So as you can see right now, he's kind of off doing his own thing, and I'm going to try to teach him how to recognize his name. So how we're trying to teach him his name is making it exciting, and also giving him some rewards if he does it correctly. So here's how I do it. Scout! Come here! Scout! Come here! Good boy. So that way he knows whenever I say his name, I want him to come to me. So I'm going to try it again. Let's see if he does it a little bit faster because we're just starting off training. Scout! Scout! There we go. Interesting. Okay, I'll try one more time just to see. As you can tell, he is completely distracted with his stick. So the last thing on his mind is me or anything I'm doing until I give him that command. Scout! Scout! Good boy! Good boy! Good boy. Now another thing you may notice too is the fact that I'm moving backwards when I'm calling his name. The reason why is because that's showing action as well. So if he sees that I'm this far away from him and I'm not moving, if I call his name, he's going to be less drawn to me because I'm not going to seem that exciting to him. He may do it, but he may not 50% of the time. So we'll give it one more shot with this particular one, and then we'll move on to the next. Scout! Scout! As you can see, it's working. is still a pup and is still figuring these out. So sometimes I have to give a little tug on the leash or something to let him know. But even being fully distracted, he's still coming when I call him. So another thing to let you guys know too is that we are just using his dog food. No special treats. We're not spending 50 bucks for some dog treats, especially for training. It's his dog food. So what we do is we just train him first thing in the morning until we decide that we're done. Because I want to stop the training before he's exhausted or before he gets bored. Because if he gets bored, the value of the training session depletes. And I don't want that. At least this is what I've been learning. Now I do want to give a shout out to a couple of the websites that we've been following for training videos and stuff like that and learning how to take care of this. Because this is just as new to us as it is to him. But the one that I've really been following the most lately is Shield Canine. Unfortunately, they're nowhere near us, so it's not like we can go to their facility. And even if we could, they do their own dogs. So we can take our dog and say, here, train him. But they have a lot of good videos, a lot of educational videos, and it definitely helps. So I'm going to try to get his attention one more time, and then we'll go on to the next. Scout! Scout! Okay, so another thing with new puppies that we're learning is obviously we need to teach them the basic commands. Sit, lay, stand, things like that. So at first we were just doing it with the treats and not really giving the command. So what we were doing with sit is we were just making a fist and pointing it at him to let him know, let's go. There. So I'm going to show you that again. I'm going to get him up off his feet, off his butt. Bring him over. There you go. So now he has a visual idea of what's happening without the verbal. Now we start working it with both. So I'll say, sit. And that way he recognizes the word along with the action. Get up. Sit. As you can see, he's focused on me now, so that's definitely important. And then after a minute, we just give him the verbal command without the hand gesture. Come here. Sit. Good boy. So sit is a very important one to me, because if he's acting inappropriately, jumping up, getting on furniture, telling him to sit forces him to stop because he can't do a lot of those actions from this position. So it's still a learning process, it's still figuring it out. Another one we're trying to figure out still is lay or down. So with down, I could tell him it, but he doesn't understand the verbal cue yet. Down. See, he doesn't know what I'm telling him. Down. So we have to lure him with a treat. Down. Now one of the things I've been learning too with down command is the faster I bring my hand down to the ground, the faster he bounces to the ground. And I want him to drop fast. So down. So that fast motion is what I want. I want an instant response. So one more time, sit. Alright. And down. So that fast movement is what we're looking for. Right? I'm also trying to teach him break. So I showed you that a little bit coming out of the house. And for break is if I tell him a command like sit. I want him to hold that position until I tell him to get out of it. As a puppy, we're still working. So I tell him to sit, I want him to stay until I say break. And then I hold my hand in front of him so he can move out of that position to get his treat. We'll try it again. Sit. Break. That way he knows he can get out of that position. Now another thing that we're doing that's very similar to break is follow. And so follow looks a lot the same, except I want to move my hand around a little bit so he follows my hand. And he understands that that's not break. So follow. There you go. Good boy. So I'm teaching him how to follow because it's going to help with future commands that I'm going to be giving him. And so in the future, when I start teaching him how to heel, I'm going to use that command. So I'll try to show you an example. He hasn't really figured this one out yet, but let's go. Follow. Follow. Come on. Over here. Over here. Follow. There you go. See, then I can get him in the position where I want him. Then I can say, sit. No. Follow. 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 Sit. Sit. There you go. So, in the future, that'll help with a lot of training like this for heel and commands like that. We're not there yet, but we're getting there. So, I didn't tell him to break. He's a puppy. He's still learning. So let's see if I can get him in a follow, sit, and then break. Let's see if I can do all those together in a nice even flow. Let's go. Follow. Sit. Sit. Let's go. Sit. Break. Very sloppy, but he's doing it. So the more I work with him, the faster he's going to catch on to it. Let's try it one more time. Scout. Follow. Sit. Sit. Break. There you go. That way I'm teaching him a variety of commands all at the same time. Now, I told you earlier, he taught us one yesterday. At first it was like, I don't know if we really want to learn this or not. Down. But I kind of thought about it. We could find useful situations for this command to work. Again, he taught us this. Down. So it's speak. So here it is. Speak. He's still eating. Speak. Speak. Good boy. Ready? No. Speak. Good boy. Now again, we want to get to the point where he doesn't stare at our hand. We want him to hear the word. So I'm going to try it with my hand in my pocket. Let's go. Speak. Good boy. Good boy. Alright. And then break. So there you have it again. We got recognizing his name, Scout. We have sit. No. Back up. Come on, break. Sit. We got sit. We have down. Oh, one I did forget to tell you is we're working on stand. Stand. Good boy. As soon as his butt comes off the ground, I reward him because that is on all fours at that point. We have speak. Good boy. Alright, so another thing we've been learning too is how to have playtime with him. We did another little video briefly covering that. Not too close.
Oh, you're good.
But we've been working even more with that, more advanced with that. So at first when we started throwing the toy and trying to play fetch, he kind of did it. But after a short amount of time, he stopped bringing it back to us and he'd grab the toy and go to another spot, play with the toy himself. And they don't find us as entertaining as the toy. We want him to think that we are more entertaining and the toy is just something that we can play with together. So what we have is one of his favorite toys, and you're going to see his reaction as soon as I pull it out of my pocket. So as soon as he sees it, watch his reaction. Immediately got his attention, right? So what I want to do with this is I want to show him, give him the command play to let him know it's okay to play with him. Play. Okay. Give him his name command. Scout, go. Scout. Now here's what we found out that was interesting. Is when you're having a little tug of war with him, let him win. Let him pull it out of your hand a few times. Let him think, give himself a little reward that, yes, I got it. Yes, it was mine. So when he gives it a good tug, let it go. So he thinks he won. Sometimes if he lets it go, then I win. So pull around, make sure he's engaged with it. Okay, so here's the part that we're starting with for fetch. Now I could grab him, yank on it real hard to get it out of his mouth to get him to let go. Or I could sit here and scream, let go, let go, let go. But that's not really the right way to do it. So what we found out, I don't touch the toy at all. When he's over by me, I'll grab his collar and I'll say, release. I'll let him drop it himself. Then I can pick it up without him biting. You see he isn't going for it? I can pick it up without him biting. Then I could say, play. He's right back to it. Scout. Scout. So again, I'll do it. Release. Pick it up. I can play. Eventually I won't have to hold his collar, and I don't have to hold his collar all the time right now, but for this example I'm just using it to show you. So at this point, let him know it's playtime. We can play around with it. We can have a little tug of war with it. We can do that. He's totally engaged with the toy. And I'm engaging with him. I'm letting him know I'm fun as well because I'm moving the toy. Now you could also do a similar training. Sit, release. You could also do follow with the toy, but he's a lot more aggressive. So if I do follow. Get it. Get it. He's a lot more aggressive with this follow than he is with the retreats. Get it. Oh boy. Again, call his name, hold the leash so he comes towards you. Scout. Good boy. Good boy. Now he's engaged. We've worked with release a little bit. Sit. There. Bad behavior. I didn't like what he was doing by nipping at my hands. I tell him to sit. Now I can hold it. He's not going after me. If I do it too long, he will, but he's a puppy, short attention span. Now I can toss it. Fetch. Scout. 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 No, scout. Good boy. So when he has a toy or when he's really distracted like that, of course I have to pull him in with the leash because otherwise he wants to run and play with it by himself. That's at first until we train him that I'm the fun and the toy's just an intermediate part of it. So let's try this again. Release. Sit. Grab the toy. Fetch. Scout. Scout. I want him to come to me on his own, but if he doesn't, I'll pull him in. Scout. Tug of war a little bit. Let him know, hey, I'm still fun. I'm not going to take it away from you every time. I'm going to let you win. Oh, you got it. Scout. There you go. All right. I want it back. I want him to give it to me without being aggressive. Scout. Release. See, he drops it on his own. He's not going after it. He wants to, but he's not. And he's waiting for me to do the next thing. So, I'll take it. So, play.
Nice catch.
Now you can play with it for a minute. So again, one of the main things we've learned about training is that you don't want to train him until he gets bored. You don't want to train him until he's no longer doing it. You want to stop when he's still excited. Then let him just be a dog. Because he's a puppy, he still has a lot of energy to let out. He doesn't want to work 24/7. So I'm going to give him a break and just let him chew and get a drink of water and go from there. Okay, so I just want to make it perfectly clear. I am not a trainer. I am not going to claim to be a trainer. I'm just training my dog. So a lot of people get a dog, they teach it a couple basic commands, and they're content with that for the rest of their life. That's fine for them. The Scout is going to be a work dog in a unique way for us. So we want to teach them the basic commands, then we want to elevate them to some more advanced commands. Another thing that I haven't mentioned yet is this leash. I love this leash. Mama did perfect by getting this leash. Big thumbs up to Mama. So it's a retractable, has a button, so if I push that button down, it locks it. So we can't go any further. There's a second button where if I push that forward, it keeps it locked without me holding the button. Pull that front one back and then it's loose. This allows Scout to be able to release. This allows Scout to be able to run around. I don't have to do anything, just let him run. I try very hard to keep the leash on top of his head so he doesn't get tripped up with his legs or anything. And his collar's loose enough to spin around on his neck so it keeps it up high. It also helps when he's going potty. But if I want him to do something, I have control over him still. So I could say, Scout. Yeah, release. Sit. So if he doesn't want to come to me, I could still use this to get him to come to me. He's stuck on that toy, isn't he? So we can pick up. Scout. Scout. Hey. Scout. Release. So if he doesn't want to behave with me, if he doesn't want to follow a command, I could still get control of him to get him to follow the command. So if he's not coming to me when I'm saying his name, I can give it a little tug. No come. If he doesn't sit when I tell him to sit, I can pull up with him. Sit. And he'll sit. So I'm still able to use this, but it gives him a lot of freedom. I believe this is about a 12 to 15 foot leash. I'm not sure exactly how long it is. And we only use it outside when we're doing training and things like that. And we use a house line for when we're indoors. So we still use that all the time. So aside from that, thanks for tuning in. Glad to show you Scout's progress. And by the way, if you're thinking about getting a puppy, be aware they grow fast. We're surprised at how fast this one has been growing. We already have to get a bigger kennel for him. So keep working with your dog every day. Be consistent. Scout. 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 See, I wasn't moving back when I was doing that at first. Scout. Be patient. He's a puppy. He's not going to stay focused. If you have to bribe him for a while, bribe him for a while. Let's go. Bark. Speak. There you go. They do want to make you happy. You just got to work with them as well. So, until next time, thanks guys. Love you. And we'll see you later. Let's go.